Hello people, this is Paul from Pinnacle English Learn, and today I'd like to focus on one of my favorite topics, which is business English. I'm going to use a textbook called Business Partner, and I'm going to use the highest level there, C1. The topic I'm going to focus on is disruptors and disruptive innovation within a business context. So let's have a look at the book. And let's kind of look at what the material is all about and how I would go about teaching it in an online lesson. Okay, let's have a look at chapter 4, Disruptors in Business, and let's look at the first couple of pages here. All right, so the first thing we'll do is we'll just kind of zoom in. And the chapter starts off with getting students to discuss these questions. So there are 4 questions altogether. I'll just use the highlighting tool here and we'll have a look at the first one. The first question asks, what changes did cars bring to society when they began to be mass-produced or produced en masse? Yeah. The second question is, what effect did commercial airlines have on society and the workplace? And the last question is, what impact has the internet had on the way we do business today? So today, I think the internet has had a tremendous impact on the way we do business. There's an exercise here as well, which is like an activity which gets students to do some listening, and the listening is actually about, what is it about? It's about a discussion about changes in people's lives, and students will have to answer the questions. This book is asking us now to read the definitions A to Z, and it's asking the students, which do you think is the most appropriate definition of disruption in a business context? So I would just kind of read through these and through a process of elimination just decide which one is the most appropriate definition of disruption. So disruption, as I understand it, is kind of the introduction of some new innovative product or service that really disrupts the current status quo of that particular business environment or marketplace. And an example that I can think of is mobile phones. Like if you think of smartphone technology, that really disrupted the way people communicate and also the way people actually take photos. So we'll look at the first one. It says an innovation that causes traditional companies to go out of business. Well, not necessarily. So, it is an innovation, and it may cause some companies to go out of business, but it doesn't necessarily mean that other companies are going to go out of business because of a disruptor, or because of a disruption within the business context. A new idea, yes, it is a new idea that people adopt because it's useful for them. Sure, I mean, it is useful, but it doesn't necessarily, this doesn't kind of encapsulate what disruption is all about. So this is kind of like a part of what the disruptive process is all about. Let's have a look at the next one, which is C, a product or service that creates a new marketplace. And we're going to do a listening in a second, and I think this kind of definition is the most appropriate because it is a product or a service that creates a brand new marketplace. And as I said before, the example that I gave before was mobile phones, smartphone technology, and that's a really good example of a disruption in a business context. Yeah, actually, if I look here, we might be able to just access the video. So the video is here, and you just kind of bring it up like that. The sound will not be coming through at the moment, certainly not clearly. But I'll just play it, and you can see, what it looks like. So you won't be able to hear the sound, but you can certainly see subtitles here. The sound is crystal clear. So there we have it, by creating new markets. So in this case, you can see that particular video agrees with me there on the answer being a product or service that creates a new marketplace. Because it's quite challenging, what I would do, because the video is quite challenging, I would actually get students to read through the questions first. So question 1, what happens in the business landscape when new technologies and ideas are introduced? Question 2, what is different today about the speed of disruption and what effect does it have? Now, obviously, the speed of disruption today is a lot faster but we'd have to check the video to see what effect it has. Why are smartphones considered to be a major disruptor? I think there were 4 solutions in order to be able to compete with disruptors. And if I had to go through it with students, I'd play it, obviously, and pop the subtitles on because it does help. And then the other thing I would do is I'd go through the answers with them and just give them some sample answers or the correct answers according to the book from the video with these definitions. And I'll just do a couple of these. So when I think of the word fragmented, I think of fragments or pieces, and the correct answer there would be D, having many companies involved in an industry or business activity. The next one is, I'll just highlight this. It says complete the sentences with the collocations in the box. Again, I'm just going to do a couple of these, so I'm not going to do all of them. We'll have a look. It says, because they have so many different functions, smartphones are considered to be, and we're looking for either a business landscape, no. Digital transformation, they're considered to be something, considered to be game changers. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? They're not really established companies because smartphones are things. But I would say, smartphones are considered to be game changers in the field of communication. Right, and how about number 7? And I'll just highlight this. The term something something is used when new technologies or ideas are introduced into markets to replace traditional solutions used by businesses. This one here is very similar, isn't it? When companies move from physical methods to online platforms. Gosh, this is something that many colleges have had to do this year. To modify their business processes, they make the use of, now for this one I would say digital transformation. So transformation, they move from physical to online and they modify their business processes. And so I was going to actually put digital transformation on number 7, but I don't think that's correct. I think number 7, the term disruptive innovation, so that's a term, is used when new technologies or ideas. So let's highlight this in green. Let's erase that. So I would say the term disruptive innovation is used when new technologies or ideas are introduced into markets to replace traditional solutions used by businesses. Obviously, there are some other ones there. Business landscape, established companies, novel approach, and venture fund. A novel approach. Novel approach is kind of doing something in a new way. So I might just do that one for you as well. So the key word there is a new way. So using a novel approach means doing something in a new way that perhaps has never been tried before. So this one here is exercise 7. It says choose the best option to complete the explanations of the underlined words. So again, I'm not going to do all of them. I'll just do one here. So companies that choose to reposition themselves need to work on presenting themselves differently, or do they need to work on completely changing their product line? So which one is correct here? The blue one? In other words, presenting themselves differently to customers? Is that how you reposition yourself? Or do you completely change your product lines? Well, the correct answer, I'll put you out of your misery, is the first one. Presenting themselves, so companies that present themselves differently to customers are actually guilty of, or should I say, are actually responsible for repositioning themselves. They are repositioning themselves by presenting themselves differently to customers. I'll do one more because it's fun. A game changer usually refers to a product or service that is completely new and becomes popular very quickly, or is it a product or service that puts other companies out of business? Well, look, a game changer may put someone out of business, but it doesn't necessarily do it all the time. So I would say a game changer is something that is completely new and becomes popular very quickly. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I think that was a lot of information, and look, it would probably work a lot better if I did have someone on the other end, to teach, but not only to teach, to kind of bounce ideas off. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to me. My name is Paul from Pinnacle English Learn, and I hope to see you online pretty pretty soon. Bye for now.